Coming to you from Farmer Dave's Kitchen here in Drake, Massachusetts, I'm Stacey.
I'm Denise.
And we're here to help you
prepare your share. Today we're going to show you how to make mason jar soups and noodle bowls. They are super easy to prepare and you will have meals ready for the week.
Not to mention, so yummy, let me tell you.
So yummy.
So the ingredients and seasonings will be packed into mason jars. Here we have pint size and they're the wide mouth, so they'll be easier to eat. So you're gonna pack the ingredients in, and then before eating, you're gonna add hot water, broth, or stock. Close it, wait 5 to 10 minutes depending on what you've added.
Okay.
It'll warm up all the ingredients. Soften the veggies and noodles if you use them. Now, rice noodles or cellophane noodles, which is what we have here. These are rice noodles, and these are cellophane noodles. These kind of, I commented, they look like shredded wheat.
They do look like shredded wheat.
Or you can use veggie noodles, which we made in another Vegisode with the spiralizer.
Exactly.
So those can be added and warmed up, and they'll soften a little bit, but they'll still have a little bit of crunch to them.
Yeah, yep.
Which I kind of like. The other thing is pasta, just using regular pasta. Right here, we have par-cooked it al dente, so it's still got a little bit of bite to it because it will be sitting in the broth, so it's going to soften a little bit further. And all that will be packed in the jars with the dry ingredients.
Yes. Okay. So let's start with some examples of ingredients. So any more robust vegetables such as sliced carrot, broccoli, green bean, peas maybe, they should be cut small and par-cooked. The broth is really just going to warm them up. So using the spiralized squash or carrot should be fine. And again, you have the different sizes of the ribbons to choose from, so you could go with the smaller ribbon on that. And then you will be left with a little bit of crunch, which is actually really nice.
That is nice. As far as onions and radish go, I would slice them super thin or put them through a box grater or food processor. You could also do, if you have any pickled radishes laying around, or even pickled beets or anything like that, just give them a drain, and that could be added to the soup as well.
That's a fun idea.
Seasonings, you can totally have fun with this. Garlic and ginger, I would approach 2 different ways.
Okay.
We have some here that is minced.
Yep.
Both the garlic and the ginger. And then you can also do it as if you were to slice the garlic and ginger and you put a coin in or a half a garlic clove in.
Right.
Then it's just going to steep.
Okay.
What you have to remember is with the minced ones, this is just warming everything. So you are going to have bits and pieces of the garlic and the ginger that may not be super soft.
Right.
So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for with it. It doesn't bother me to eat it because I absolutely love ginger and garlic.
Right.
But if you want a more subtle flavor, you might want to put in the larger pieces and just kind of let it steep in the liquid.
Right. Exactly. So other seasonings to consider are some of the obvious. So salt and pepper, of course, Italian seasoning, fresh herbs, scallions, curry paste. Additional add-ins can be chopped tomatoes, you could do coconut milk, all kinds of stuff.
All kinds. I mean, think about if you add some coconut milk and some curry paste to it, it just like thickens it up and makes it really luscious. And then you put the chicken in and some different things, and you almost have like an Indian chicken soup.
Yeah, it sounds really good.
Of course, if you want to bring the heat, we have red pepper flake.
Right.
And putting that with the hot broth.
Delicious.
Totally infuses it. I have some chili paste, some sriracha. And then we also, if you want a little sweet and heat, I have some chili sauce that's got that little sweetness in it.
Sure.
Or if you don't have this and you want that little sweet, you can just add a little bit of honey along with like the siracha or something like that. So you've got that sweet, sour, spicy thing going on. And that's one of my favorites because it just, it gives it a little zing. The other thing are beans. Sliced tofu can also be put in the jar as well. Any other protein like chicken, beef, or shrimp, you just want to make sure all of that is pre-cooked.
Correct.
You are not, it's not a hot pot where it's boiling and you're putting it in and it's cooking in there. It's just warm.
Right.
It's going to warm the protein through. So you want to make sure that all that is pre-cooked. We don't want anybody getting sick.
Correct. Did we mention pre-cooked?
Pre-cooked.
Pre-cooked. Okay, got it. All right, so we have some stock heating up on the stove and we're going to pack a couple of jars. So I'm going to start with a minestrone. Would you help me with this? So I've got most of my ingredients here. So we're going to start with the Farmer Dave garlic skeet pesto. We thought this was a really fun use for this. So we're actually gonna put this down in the bottom. Stacey, you think that's good?
I think that's enough.
Okay, we'll put that right back in there. So that's what we're gonna start with for flavor here. Then we need some beans.
Some white beans.
Some white beans. Fantastic. And what's next?
You can add some green beans to it. I think a good green bean and a
Oh, and a
minestrone is
minestrone?
kind of nice. Yep.
And now these have been just par cooked very quickly. So these are still gonna have some crunch to them, but they're not completely raw.
Right. And then some pasta.
Beautiful.
We have some shells that are all pre-cooked, again, al dente. And I know you usually think about worrying about your grains or your pasta taking on too much liquid,
Right.
swelling, and then sopping up all the broth.
Yeah.
But that's really not going to happen with this because you're basically packing a dry jar.
Yes.
And you can do these ahead of time and they'll be in the fridge. And then when you go to use them, obviously let it kind of come to room temperature
Right.
so your jar isn't ice cold.
Exactly.
And then it'll be fine once you add the liquid to it.
you should be
know,
totally
it'll
good
be
to go.
great.
Nice.
You want to do some veggie noodles too?
Yes, so let's do some of these veggie noodles. So we have some
These are insane.
summer squash. I'm gonna cut them. Summer squash. We have a little bit of the zucchini. And again, we chose to do a smaller ribbon on these because again, we're just warming this up. So,
And then you want to add some tomatoes.
yep,
I
we'll
think
put some
tomatoes
tomato
would be
right
good
on
in
the
that.
top. We'll pop a color.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I think we're full.
I think we are full.
Oh,
All right, excellent.
Yep, that looks good.
So now, mine. I am going to make a spicy chicken noodle. This is one of my favorite sick time soups. I absolutely love it. Who doesn't like chicken noodle? when
Yes.
they're sick.
Right.
So I'm adding, like I said, spicy. I'm going to add some, this is some spicy chili paste.
Oh yeah,
Put that in the bottom.
love that. And then carrot and
carrots.
onion.
Now these carrots were sliced super thin.
Nice.
I'm putting these in raw because I like my carrots to have a little bit of crunch in there, which is why we did it so thin. So I figured out that this is about the right consistency. So this is going to go in.
Beautiful.
All right.
Carrot in a chicken soup. That's great.
What else we got?
So
Some
onion. Yep.
Raw onion, diced very thin because this isn't going to cook. It's
Right.
going to basically stew.
Exactly.
Then I
We have
think,
scallions.
Yep. Ginger.
Yes, definitely ginger.
If you're sick, ginger is awesome.
And so is garlic.
And garlic.
Beautiful.
There we go.
Okay.
Then I'm going to put in some, actually before I put in the chicken, I'm going to put in my noodles.
And do the noodles first?
Right. So
Okay.
I think I am going to do the rice noodles. And
So.
then, you ready?
Crack them in half. See what happens
It's just
here.
like cracking pasta.
Get those in there. Yum.
May have to squish them a little bit, but that's okay.
That's all right.
And then I have some cube chicken here, already pre-cooked.
Yep. And this was so easy to do. This was just a quick poach. That was it. And then we cubed it. Couldn't have been easier.
Now, as you can see, we also have greens out. The greens you could easily pack. Oh yeah, cilantro. Thank you. The greens you could easily pack in, or you could even stir it in afterwards if you wanted to. If you were
Sure.
transferring this to another bowl,
Yep.
you can store your greens in a Ziploc bag. So if you're taking this to work,
Yes.
have your broth in an empty one.
Right.
You have all these in here. Then you have your greens in a little Ziploc bag. Once you add your broth to here, everything
that
is going
steep.
to shrink. So you're going to have more space in here once the noodles
Right.
shrink down.
Exactly.
So then you can always open it, add some of your greens, close it back up, and the greens are just going to wilt.
Yeah.
It's not really a big deal. So I do think I want to add,
It's a great thing to do with the
I
greens.
just want to add a little more scallion. I
Sure.
just love that onion.
The onion, the scallion,
Onion
the garlic,
flavor.
the ginger.
All right, now are we ready to add our liquid?
Yeah.
Grab yours.
All right, grab mine. So,
Okay. You want to bring it over here?
sure, yep. Let's go
And
right
I'll
over
scoop.
the.
We'll go right over. Whoops.
Whoop.
Is that too hot for you?
No, I'm good.
Boy, does she trust me on this.
I trust you.
It wasn't boiling, obviously, but it is warm. And speaking of boiling, that is the one thing. Do not pour the boiling stock into the room temperature jars.
Right.
You may have a problem with jar breakage. So we let this boil. It's really warm. You can still stick your fingers in it.
Right.
That should ensure that your jar does not break. So just keep that in mind. So if you're at work, again, and you had this in the refrigerator or in your lunch tote with an ice pack, take it out, let it a little bit come to room temperature so it's not so ice cold. And then you add this.
Exactly.
There you go.
Nothing's going to ruin your lunch more than some broken glass.
Some broken glass, exactly. We don't want to do that.
No.
And we're going to cover this up. All right, so this is basically what they look like. Right there. We're going to let that steep for, like we said, 5 to 8 minutes.
Right.
Depending on the grain and things that you put in it, you may want to wait as long as 10 minutes. So we're going to let that sit for a couple minutes, and then when we come back, we're going to taste. So
Sounds good.
stay tuned.
Now to give it a stir and a taste. This is
In
the
about
best part.
10 minutes, I think.
I would say so.
About 10 minutes. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a shake because my seasoning is on the bottom.
Oh, right.
That way it totally...
Oh, yeah. Look at all that chili paste working its way in.
This is
Delicious.
my 6-day chicken soup. That's what this one is.
Lovely. I'm so curious about these noodles.
I'll start with a little bit with the broth.
Sure. A little bit of chicken. Yeah?
I am still a big fan of whenever you are sick and congested. I think that the best decongestant out there on the market is chili paste.
Chili paste.
Or red pepper flake.
Right.
Or
Get that
anything
garlic
like that.
in there. The ginger. That's awesome. All right, I am actually going to take my minestrone inspired. I'm going to pour mine over some greens. So now whether you did this at the office, you brought it with you, or you're doing this at home. So just a little spinach in the bottom. Oh my goodness, this looks amazing. And we're just going a little bit of topsy-turvy here.
Oh, look at that.
That looks good. That definitely looks good.
You have all sorts of greens. You have the spiralized vegetables.
This looks really delicious.
You have tomatoes. You have chicken sausage in that one.
Yes,
that
yeah.
we had already cooked.
All right, let's see.
And of course, I think we put garlic scape pesto in just about everything.
In about everything. They'll give this a taste.
Now keep in mind, if these greens aren't as wilted as you would like them, I like things with a little bit of bite to them.
Yeah.
You can easily warm this up in the microwave a little bit further if you want to.
Absolutely.
Or if you're keeping it in the jar, just take the metal lid off and you can put this jar in the microwave
Definitely.
and give it a zap just for a few minutes to get it a little bit hotter.
Yeah, these are so good. You could even bring, if you bring a whole broth, you might have a little bit of extra broth to be able to pour over that too.
Correct.
Which is kind of cool. So these are yummy.
These we are calling our custom cup of soups.
That's a fun name.
Isn't that fun? Remember those cup of soups?
Cup of soup.
So these are custom cup of soups with farm fresh veggies.
Absolutely.
And perfect to take to the office, have in your refrigerator, have for a sick day, anything like that. So
Anytime at all.
give it a shot. I think you're going to like them.
Enjoy.